Dragon Girls, a dragon fantasy book for kids, adventure stories for kids. Written by Jeff Child, narrated by John H. Feskins. Introduction. This story is about two girls named Mindy and Mandy. They live in a small village where hardly anything ever happens. They hang out with and face the hardships of school and boredom. But when Mindy discovers an object that looks promising, both of their lives takes a more interesting turn. Listen to a fun adventure with dragons, villagers, friends, and a mysterious spawn egg these girls find. Chapter 1. Life in the Village. Mindy was sick of it. She threw her hat on the floor in frustration. She had been in school all day, and even though she thought history and geography were kind of interesting, the last 2 hours had been a drag. She looked at the weather outside. It was sunny and a little cloudy, but they had to stay inside. For the longest time, Mindy was imagining herself playing outside, but school wasn't over yet. It took forever. That's how it felt, at least. "Psst, Mandy," she said as she leaned over to her friend. "What do you want to do when class is over?" "Quiet," Mandy whispered back. "We'll get caught talking. I don't want detention. I already had it twice last week." "That's because our teacher is a two-faced ugly baboon," Mindy whispered. Mandy snickered. "Ha ha, yeah, with a bald head like a mirror. I saw my reflection in it yesterday." Mindy chuckled. "Hey, you two over there," the teacher said. "I don't tolerate talking in class. Both of you are going to stay for another 30 minutes after class." "But teacher, we—" "Not another word. Detention, both of you." Mandy sighed. She tried so hard to not do anything that would get her into trouble, but when Mindy called the teacher a baboon, she just couldn't resist joking around. Mindy looked a little annoyed, too. 30 minutes sounded like a lot, especially since the weather was so lovely. After this, there were no more disturbances. Mindy and Mandy kept quiet. They were unsatisfied with the verdict of their little indiscretion, but there was nothing they could do about it. When class was over, Mindy and Mandy went to the detention room. There they had to write 100 sentences in their notebooks. When they were almost done, they looked outside and saw, to their displeasure, that the weather had changed. "Oh no," Mindy said. "I really wanted to play outside. What happened to the sun?" "I guess it left," Mandy answered as she watched through the window, seeing the rainy clouds pour out water on the earth. "Stupid sun, come back!" Mindy shouted. It didn't help. They had to walk through the rainstorm or stay in the school building. "Want to stay?" Mindy asked. "No way," Mandy said. "I want to get out of here." "But it's raining. We can't do anything outside anyway." "Any place is better than school," Mandy said. "I guess you're right," Mindy admitted. "Let's go." They overlooked the village from the top of the hill, the village they lived in, the village that was built against a hill and had now turned into a giant mudslide. It looked scary but fun at the same time. Mindy and Mandy looked at each other. They looked behind them. Most of the school personnel had already left. When the two swung the door open, they gazed into the distance as the loud thunder and intense bright lightning appeared in front of them. "What do you think? Are you scared?" Mindy asked. "Ha ha ha! Are you asking this because that's what you are?" Mandy asked back. "I say let's just go." She jumped down and slid down the rapid river of mud and rain, not caring about her clothes getting dirty. Within seconds, her entire attire turned from pink into a brownish black, and her friends soon followed. "Whee!" Mindy cheered joyfully. "This is the best!" Their speed increased, and they zigzagged around trees, rocks, and houses. The farther down they were, the faster they went, and the longer they were in the mudslide, the harder it was to control their movements. "Hold on!" Mindy shouted through the bolstering, crackling thunder. "We're almost home!" But she missed, and so did Mandy. "Whoa!" they both yelled. The two girls were now sliding past the village and had already seen the outside streets flash before their eyes without being able to grab hold of something to keep them from descending even farther. They became a little scared, not knowing where they would end up. "We're going to drop into the valley beneath the village," Mandy said nervously. It's okay, I've been there before, Mindy shouted back. Wah! Chapter 2. The Strange Egg. Splat! Mindy and Mandy dropped into a puddle of mud and quickly swam up to the surface. They coughed and panted and got out of the puddle. That was fun, Mindy said. Yeah, but how are we going to get home? Mandy asked. Oh, no worries. Just wait until the rain is gone. Sure, let's have a mud fight in the meantime. And the battle started. They splashed each other by kicking their feet at each other, throwing mud into each other's faces, and hiding behind the trees in the swampy forest area they were in. It was a lot of fun, because the rain made it that much more adventurous. After about 2 hours, it finally stopped raining. See, Mindy said, now we can go up and go back to our families. Mindy was confident that it would be an easy climb, but as soon as she tried to walk up the hill, she slipped and fell flat on her face. Ha ha ha, not too easy, is it? Mandy said. Oh, be quiet. How about you try it? Mandy tried to climb up, but even though grabbing onto trees and branches helped her get up a little higher, she too slipped and fell at Mindy's feet. Ouch, she said. There is no way of getting up there. Just because it stopped raining doesn't mean that it's not slippery anymore. We'll have to think of something else. Let's go that way. There may be a way around this steep hill, Mindy suggested. No sooner said than done. They were a mile away from the spot with the big puddle. They were both brown and covered in mud, but they didn't care. It dried up after a while and was easy to peel off. Suddenly, while walking, Mindy stopped and said, Look over there. What's that? I don't know, Mandy said. They were both staring at an object in the distance, the size of a small crate, which was gray with red polka dots. Both girls were amazed. I've never seen anything like this, Mandy said. What is it? Mindy picked it up and said, It looks like an egg, but I don't know from what. Shake it, Mandy said. Mindy shook it. Now smell it, Mandy said. There's nothing to smell. It's an egg. Jump on it, Mandy said. No, I refuse to jump on it, Mindy said. Let's just take it home and see what comes out of it. Sure, but it might be a while. Carrying the big egg with them, they slowly walked through the mud around the hill and found a path. The mud had become dry everywhere. The sun was shining again, and a rainbow became visible on the horizon. The two girls were having a good time, singing songs and telling each other jokes. They switched off, taking turns and permitting each other to carry the strange egg. When they followed the path for another hour or so, they reached the village. There it is. I told you, Mindy said. Okay, you're right, Mandy said. But who is going to take care of the egg? Can I? Mindy asks. I am so curious. I want to know what kind of animal is inside. Sure, Mandy said. I don't want to go through all that effort, but I will give you the egg on one condition. Be certain to tell me immediately when it hatches. Deal, Mindy said. See you later. See ya. The two girls went separate ways, one with the mysterious egg and the other without. Mindy came home. She didn't want anyone else to know about the egg, so she hid it in the barn next to her house. Since her parents were farmers, they owned a big barn with large stacks of hay in it. Mindy figured it would be safe there. She put the egg away and said, Don't go anywhere, little baby. I will be back every day to take care of you. As soon as she entered her home, her mom went nuts. Mindy, what happened to you? You were supposed to be home 3 hours ago, and why are you so muddy? Don't you realize you just ruined your clothes? I'm sorry, Mom. We slid down the hill and ended up in the valley beneath the village. You what? It wasn't our fault. It was just raining heavily. It was a storm out there. Yes, I know, but wasn't there a way to avoid the rain by staying at the school, perhaps? Mindy shrugged. Like I said, I'm sorry. It's okay, honey. I am glad you're back. Now take those clothes off and go take a bath. I will get you some new ones in a minute. But I'm hungry, Mindy said. I don't care. You're not eating in those clothes. Come on, hurry up. Mindy took her clothes off and put them on the floor. She jumped into the bathtub, and her mother filled it up with warm water. When she was done, she dried herself off and put the clean clothes on. Dinner was delicious, more than she could have imagined. Then again, Mindy thought, maybe she just liked it so much because she hadn't eaten since lunch and it was already late. After devouring her salad and slices of bread with butter, she asked her mother if she could go to the barn before going to bed. "Why would you want to go over there?" her mom asked. "There is nothing there, is there?" "I thought I saw a rabbit," Mindy lied. "You know what? You're a little weird sometimes, girl. But go ahead. I don't mind. If you think you can find something interesting there, just be back soon because it's almost bedtime." "No problem, Mom." She went to the barn and looked at the egg. "What are you?" she asked. Chapter 3. A New Buddy. The next day, Mindy got up fast. She was excited to go see the egg. It was a Saturday, which meant she had the entire day to play instead of having to do boring schoolwork. She ate breakfast and ran into the barn. Good timing, she thought, because in front of her there was some movement. "Come on, buddy, you can do it," Mindy said, encouraging the egg to hatch. "Come on, come on." Suddenly, a claw came out of the egg. "Whoa," Mindy said. "What the?" Then another claw came out and a tail. And before Mindy could say another word, the egg hatched and a little light blue dragon jumped out. It looked rough on the edges, and its skin was rough on its stomach and head. It had 2 tiny yellow horns and a queer spike on its tail. "Wow, a dragon," Mindy said. Mindy thought it would be fun to pet it, so she did. The dragon came closer and licked her face with its strange tongue. Mindy laughed. "Take it easy, buddy. I'm not your mom." But the baby dragon didn't know any better. It jumped on Mindy and smiled, making playful dragon noises and turning around. "Are you a boy or a girl?" Mindy asked. She tried to look between the dragon's legs. "Definitely a boy," she said after a few seconds. "I am going to name you, I guess I don't have a name. We should ask Mandy and decide together. Stay here, little baby dragon. I'm going to get my friend." She signaled to the blue dragon to stay in a corner and put some hay and boxes in front of him. "Don't go anywhere. I'll be back soon," she said. After a while, she came back with Mandy. "So what is it?" Mandy asked. "I just asked you 10 times already." "It's a secret," Mindy said. She removed the boxes and the hay and presented her new friend. Ta-da! "Wow, a dragon? Is it a boy or a girl?" "It's a boy. I wanted to get you to think of a name." "Gorith," Mandy said. "What?" "Gorith. I think the dragon's name should be Gorith." Okay, Mindy said as she thought for a moment. "Gorith it is. Sounds good to me." "Let's take it somewhere else. It will be our secret," Mandy said. They guided the blue baby dragon to a place behind some old buildings on the edge of town. Mindy ran around, and Mandy made what she thought was dragon noises. The baby dragon responded by making his own noises, and Mindy tried to make him catch her. "What does he eat?" Mandy asked. "I don't know. Mice? Birds? I have no idea." "Well, I think he is super cute. I hope we can keep him." "We probably can't keep him for too long," Mindy said. "What if his parents are still around? We must find them somehow." "I guess you're right, but for now I just want to play with him. Here, Gorith, catch!" Mandy threw a stick away and hoped for a reaction. Nothing happened. Gorith stood there looking at the 2 girls as if to say, "Do you really expect me to go after a useless stick?" "Oh," Mindy said after a while, "my dad has some chicken left. Maybe Gorith will eat some chicken. I will go get some." She ran home and made sure Mandy stayed with the baby dragon. After about 15 minutes, she came back with a piece of chicken from the storage. Gorith sniffed. He could already sense the delicious scent from the chicken meat. "Catch, Gorith," Mindy said as she threw the chicken into the distance. This caught the dragon's attention. He jumped up and sprinted towards the chicken, after which he consumed the bird meat as quickly as possible. "Ha ha," Mandy said. "I guess he really likes chicken." "He sure does. I think we just found our dragon food. I will take care of feeding him. My dad always has some chicken somewhere." "Sounds like an idea." The girls played around with their new reptile friend some more, playing tag, making funny faces, and trying to ride it. They played for hours, until the sad moment came that it was dinner time. and Mindy took the baby dragon home again. When she came home, she made a comfortable bed from hay for her little friend and said good night. Chapter 4. Gone. When Mindy woke up the next day, she was pretty excited again. Since it was Sunday, she would have the whole day to play with the blue dragon and involve Mindy in the process. She got up, ate breakfast even faster than the previous day, and ran towards the barn. "Gorith, I'm back! Let's play!" she exclaimed enthusiastically. She moved the boxes aside and looked. Huh? He wasn't there. "Gorith!" Mindy shouted again. Nothing. Not a single sound came from the barn. "Gorith! Gorithy!" Again, nothing. "Odd," Mindy said. "Where could he be?" She looked underneath the hay, she looked behind the barn, and under the trees in the backyard. She checked beneath the crates next to the house. She even went to the storage room to see if Gorith had maybe been there, stealing chicken from her parents. But she just couldn't find the little blue dragon. Then she saw Mandy. "Hey, Mandy!" Mindy shouted. "Where is Gorith?" Mandy asked. "He is missing. I can't find him anywhere." "Well, he should be around here somewhere. Why would he leave? Did you feed him this morning?" "No, he was just gone. I haven't seen him all day." They looked again, inside the house, at the site with the deserted village buildings, and even in and around Mandy's house. But the dragon was gone. Gorith had left, and they were alone. Mindy began to cry. She got a little attached to the innocent creature, and she was sad that he had left. She even blamed herself for a moment, but Mandy assured her that it was nothing personal. "I want Gorith back!" Mindy cried. "We'll find him," Mandy said. "Don't worry." She patted her friend on the back and stayed with her for a while. Then she went home. Chapter 5. The Dragon. The two girls hadn't seen their little blue dragon in months. Winter came, and the dreary, cold season had arrived, leaving the villagers grouchy and depressed. Mindy and Mandy still played a lot after school, having snowball fights, making snowmen, and creating drawings and handicraft items inside their homes. Sometimes they even folded paper into a dragon figure, or drew a dragon on one of the walls at the site with the ruins. Everything was okay besides the terrible weather, but it wouldn't be long until a severe drama would unfold in this unsuspecting town. "Alarm!" one of the villagers yelled one day while running into the village. "What's going on?" another asked. "We are being attacked! Everyone hide!" "What? How? Who is attacking us?" "It's a dragon! It's huge! We cannot have it find us! It's going to spit fire everywhere and destroy our homes!" Word traveled fast. The message spread across the village within minutes. Everyone was concerned. Villagers were hiding in their basements and storage rooms. Others left the village entirely, retiring to the fields or the forest. The town was fairly chaotic for a while. People were running from one side of the village to the other. Mindy's and Mandy's families were friends, so they decided to hide in the same basement, hoping that the dragon wouldn't find them. "But dragons aren't hostile," Mindy protested when her parents told her to come with them. "We don't have to hide from them. Dragons are friendly." "Who told you that nonsense?" her mother asked. "Well, Mandy and I kept a baby dragon in the barn for a while." "You what?" "We had a small blue dragon, and it didn't do anything against us. It was nice, and it ate chicken." "Why didn't you tell us?" her mom asked. "Because I was afraid you would kill it or tell me to chase it away." "Of course not. Baby dragons can be cute, especially blue ones. But listen up, Mindy. Dragons are not friendly. They are black and big and mean. They will eat you alive if you come too close. Now please come with us so we can hide with Mandy's family in their basement." "Fine," Mindy sighed. They ran towards Mandy's house and said hi. Then they hid together as two families. It was quiet. Very quiet. For the longest time, the villagers were wondering if it was a false alarm. One of them even came out of his hiding place to check. But when he saw the dangerous dragon in the distance, he quickly went inside. Bam! The dragon landed on the ground between a few homes. It was as tall as a 100-foot building and more vicious than a mama bear protecting her cubs. Its gigantic tail whacked one of the sheds down. It knew the villagers were there, and even though the dragon couldn't see them with its purple eyes, it sensed their presence. It smelled their breath and their nervous sweat. It was fully aware of their hiding places, just not exactly where. It spat fire on one of the homes while sneaking around and ticking on the ground with its sharp claws. The acid scared one of the women in the village, who screamed loudly, "Ah!" And suddenly, panic struck the whole town. People were afraid that they were discovered, so they came out of their hiding places, an ironic paradox any outsider would laugh about. The dragon didn't hesitate. It chased after the villagers one by one, spitting acid and hitting structures. Mindy's and Mandy's families were watching through the basement window. "We have to do something," Mandy's mother said. "But what?" Mindy's mom asked. "We can't do anything against a dragon like that. It's pointless." "We're going to die," Mindy said. But before she could say anything else, the giant dragon bent over and looked into their basement through the glass, figuratively scaring Mindy to death by looking straight at her with his humongous eye. "Wah!" Mindy yelled, and that was enough. Enough to awake a certain something. Chapter 6. Rescued. "It spotted us! We have to get out of here!" Mindy's dad exclaimed. "If we stay, it will crush this house or spit acid through our windows. Let's go! Other side now!" The two families ran up the stairs and out the door on the other side of the house. For a second or two, they felt relieved. But when they saw the dragon walk around the house and get in front of them, they lost all hope. "Take me," Mindy's dad said to the dragon. "Just take me and leave them alone. Go, honey, take the children." The dragon squinted its eyes. Looking down on the families, it could only see what it wanted, a lovely snack to chew on. It cracked a smile, put its arm with its sharp claws back, and was about to hit the family to the ground when... thud! The dragon was struck down, beaten by another creature until it fell with its face in the sand of the village road. It turned around. In front of the dragon stood another dragon, but not just any dragon. A blue dragon with yellow horns and a spike on its tail, and it was colossal. It was just as big as the dragon. "Gorith!" Mindy cheered. "You came back!" That's Gorith?" Mandy asked. "He is huge. Wow." "I guess your little baby dragon grew into an able, strong one, didn't he?" Mindy's mom said. "Go get him, Gorith!" Mindy shouted. "Beat that dragon so hard that it will never come back!" The blue dragon looked at Mindy as to acknowledge her presence, and then looked at the dragon he had just beaten to the floor. The dragon huffed and puffed and got up on its feet. The duel had begun. Two dragons were engaged in battle, one a brutal monster ready to devour its prey, the other eager to protect the little girls who had taken care of him the first day of its existence. Slowly they walked around each other, reluctant to make the first move. But then the dragon attacked Gorith, who quickly stepped aside and watched as the dragon dashed with its head into a deserted building. The dragon got up and spat fire at the heroic blue dragon, but Gorith spat fire back and completely scourged the other dragon's fire, because it was hotter. Then he came at the dragon and slashed with its sharp claws. The dragon got scratched and was bleeding a little, but the evil monster wasn't done yet. It quickly turned to the civilians behind it and looked at them. "Ah!" Mindy and Mandy screamed. However, Gorith would not have this. He flew over the dragon and landed in front of him, in between his friends and the awful creature, as to say, "Get your stinky paws off my family." The fight continued. Another blow, another whack in the face, and a bite in the skin were the simple consequences of this epic battle between two mythical beings. Nevertheless, the final blow was something the dragon didn't see coming. Gorith hadn't used its sharp tail yet. The tail went sideways, then forward, and then... boosh! It hit the dragon hard enough to swing it back out of the village and made it fall on the ground almost unconscious. Gorith came closer and spat fire into the air, threatening to kill the evil black dragon. And it surrendered. It had had enough. The dragon flew away, never to be seen again. Chapter 7. Back to the Parents. Mindy ran at her favorite dragon and gave him a hug. Mandy was right behind her. "Well done, Gorith," Mandy said. Their parents were still in awe. They didn't expect their young daughters to interact with an enormous dragon like this. "So you raised this dragon?" Mandy's mother asked. "Just for one day," Mindy said. "Apparently he has a good memory, right, Gorith?" Gorith made a weird dragon sound, kind of like a seal, they figured. The other villagers slowly came out of their hiding places to take a look at this sudden turn of events. Some women fainted, and children were hiding behind their fathers. Others simply tread forward and observed the giant creature. "Well done, girls," the town's mayor said. "You certainly helped us." "Oh, it was all Gorith," Mindy said. "You have some brave daughters, madams," the mayor told their moms. "Gorith, what are you doing?" Mindy asked. Gorith grabbed her with his hand and put her on his back. Mindy looked happier than ever before. Was her dragon giving her a ride? This was awesome. "Can I come too?" Mandy asked. The dragon grabbed her as well and put her on his back with Mindy. "Let's go!" Mindy yelled with a big smile on her face. Her mother said. "It's okay," her dad assured her. "He's not going to drop them." And up they went. Gorith soared up and flew in circles, over the forest and above the mountains. The two girls were having a blast, throwing their hands in the air and shouting with joy. But then they saw something else. Two other dragons with the same skin color flying right at them. "Gorith, who are they?" Mindy asked. Gorith went towards them. He didn't have to answer, because when they were close, it all became clear. "Are these your parents?" Mandy asked. Gorith just smiled. "Wow, I guess they were still out there somewhere, weren't they?" Mindy said. After a little tour in the area, they returned to the village, where all of its citizens stood back and watched in amazement as the two girls landed on the ground on the back of a blue dragon, with two other, bigger dragons next to it. They jumped off and walked towards Gorith's face. "Thank you, Gorith," Mindy said. "You saved the village. I will always remember you." She kissed him on the forehead and stepped back. Then Mandy stepped forward and said, "You are the best dragon I've ever met, Gorith, and I've met quite a few." "Oh, who am I kidding? Actually, you're the only dragon I've met, but oh well." She tapped him on the forehead as a friendly gesture and went back to her parents. The three dragons flew off and disappeared in the distance. "Two little girls and a blue dragon," the mayor mumbled. "This will be the story of the century." The end.